Come on in.
Oh, eh, oh, eh. Oh, eh, oh, eh. Yeah, yeah.
Hi, foodies. Welcome to Food Things. Before I get into this video clip, I just want to say thank you to all the support that you guys are giving me, and I would love to welcome the new subscribers. Let's have fun and let's get cooking. I have this beautiful layered cut of brisket, and I was wondering what should I do with it? Because on a lazy day, I'll just cook it off and then serve it with pap. So today my energy levels are high and I've got all the time in the world to play with this cut of meat. And I'm thinking, why not make pies? Because I've been having this pastry in the fridge for about a week now, and today I'm going to use it. So put your aprons on and let's get cooking. I've used a mixture of spices to marinate it. One of those was paprika, mixed herbs, cumin, and yeah, that's about it. Me and recycling vegetables. That red bell pepper is the leftover of last time I cooked. And to keep it fresh in the fridge, always leave the stem on. So I'm going to use mushrooms, onion, garlic, and scotch bonnet. Rubbing in some salt in between the layers. I've trimmed off excess fat in that gap that you'll see on the cut. Brisket is a perfect cut of meat for an African because it will have this lean beef layer and then this fatty layer. And then what I do most, as you see on my food posts, you'll see me cooking it as whole because I want to retain the fat into the meat and just ruffle it out like you'll do with the sloppy joe, and then or like the Sechona people does it, and then serve it with pap rice. Oh, it's so tasty, really tasty and juicy. Now I'm just wrapping it up and then let it marinate for the afternoon. So I'll start cooking around 3 to 4. So that will be 6 hours of marinade in the fridge, of course. 6 hours later, perfectly marinated. I can smell the smoked paprika and it's kind of like moist. Yeah, that's why we marinate. So I'm just preparing hot oil to sear it on all sides just to retain the beefy flavor. That's why we sear. Adding the mixture of all the onions, the paprika, and then the scotch bonnet. Scotch bonnet is just chili optional, you can leave it out. quickly went outside to unplug some thyme, so fresh thyme. The layer that you see underneath the pot, those are flavors. So some people will say the meat is bland. That's not bland, that's a creation of flavors. That's about 1 liter of should I call it stock, because there was a bone to the brisket which I cut off and just let it boil to get the flavor, the beef flavor out of it. And that's the warm water I'm pouring back into the pot. I let it cook for 30 minutes and now I'm just turning it, and then I'll close it off again so that it can cook for an hour. Approximately it cooked for 2 hours on low heat, medium low heat. When this water dissolved, I added another liter of boiling water to it and then let it cook off for another hour. After 2 hours of cooking, this is what we end up with. Just pressing it into the oil just to get the last flavors of the oil and then all the spices down there. It's cooked so soft now, it's falling, instead of falling off the bone, it's falling off the tongue. Because I've deboned it, of course. Just see how it breaks and how it falls, and especially in the middle, how it tears down there. Ooh, the aroma. I'm just going to cut it up in small pieces and then return it to the pot. Just see how perfectly cooked it is. So I'm just cutting it up into small pieces, and then of course the excess fat, we are not going to consume that, we just use it to keep the meat moist and then returning it to the pot. There was too much fat in the pot, so I cleaned it out and just returned a small amount back into the pot to continue cooking. So there I just put in the mushrooms and then let it soften a little bit, not overcook. Now I'm adding the meat pieces back into the pot. And here we go again. I'm using chicken soup, tinned chicken soup. You can use your packet of soup. 1 whole packet will do, and just dissolve it and let it be creamy and add it to the pot. I'm just using half a tin. Just see how creamy it is and full of flavor. That I can assure you. And the smell, This is about it. There is enough sauce to pack it into the pies. As you warm it up, it will also evaporate or thin out. So yeah. Like I said, I'm using store-bought puff pastry, so I just roll it out. It's a bit stretchy because I took it out of the fridge long ago. but it is still okay. So I just use flour to use for it not to stick onto the counter. I put in, and then I fill the bucket up with the meat, and then just beating the egg so they can become airy, and just brush it off. Just playing a little. Evenly coat the top and every corner of the pie so that it can be flaky and crispy as it baked off to a golden brown color. You can rearrange yours in neat or in a pattern. Me, I just wanted these rough edges. If you are to make the similar recipe of putting it into these containers, I would recommend that you use a one path pastry for 2 trays, because you could see that the first 2 it stretched out a little bit, but the third one was perfectly fitted. So I think 2 will do. 2 trays, 1 roll. Brush off excess egg wash onto like a second layer. Don't let it sit in between the gaps. I bake it off at 180 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes, and just let it cool for 5 minutes. Here you have it. Should I call them brisket and mushroom pies? Again on my hands-free mode, trying to get a bite into this pie. So warm. The smell, the aroma, so beautiful, and the taste, mouth-watering. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, and see you in the next one.